Just it feels like women athletes are getting more exposure. They're getting to kind of like just get more like sponsorship deals, and they don't have to go with the first one. Like they can be with like eco-friendly ones like this. Like how cool is that for you, like as an athlete, kind of just coming in now?
Oh, it just feels amazing, and just coming off the Olympics and seeing, I mean, it felt like the women and the girls were the star of the show, and like it's so incredible to see where women's sport is, and it's just, people like are knowing everyone's names and getting to see them on the big screen. And I just think, in saying that, there's just a place for everyone. There's a place for everyone of all styles, all sports to, we should all be able to, do what we love and be supported. And it's just amazing that we have so many brands that are supporting us as well to keep doing what we love. And so we don't have to, retire early or get another job. So, I mean, I'm just so thankful to work with incredible brands, and especially, Cariuma, being a surfer. Like we love and we live and breathe the ocean, and so we have like we have a really big connection to Mother Nature, and so we always like want to make the best choice, the better choice, and having like a shoe company that's sustainable and vegan leather and all these like cool sort of more sustainable options in the shoes. It's rad, and I feel like even my wetsuit company Billabong, they just brought out their most sustainable wetsuit yet, and it feels like so many brands are following suit to make the better choice for the planet. So our surfers are like, yes, all the way.
And I guess, like you said, like you're so connected to the ocean, like in this sport. Like, so is that something, like, I don't know what you chat about when you're like out on the surf, but is that something that you and the other girls like just really passionate about, chatting about that?
Yeah, I think I think everyone, all surfers are just very passionate about the ocean, and we'll all be, so stoked to do any sort of community work to keep the oceans as clean as possible, so the future generations can enjoy them how they are. Like I just so want my kids and their kids to be able to enjoy this same ocean, and for it not to be ruined by something humans have done, So I think we all just try to use our voices to help with that, and it's cool that we got brands that are aligned with that as well.
And I'm sure there are like a few other like kind of just eco-friendly brands, but having Cariuma like just kind of like coming to Australia, do you think in the near future we are going to see a lot more like brands like that?
So. Yeah, I think so. And I think there's going to be a huge shift in the fashion world, even in the surf world, for people to, for fast fashion to sort of get pushed out, and like, better quality and better materials for the planet coming in, and just giving everything more longevity, more vintage clothes, just more reused clothes. I think there's still a long way to go there, and I know that all the brands that I've worked with for a long time are really, they're actively trying to make better changes and be conscious. So I think if you're being conscious and you know that you're not perfect now, but you're going to strive to be better, then that's all you can do.
Just doing it one step at a time, just slowly improving.
One step at a time. And that was the thing, like when I first started even talking about, climate action or anything like that, I was like scared to do it because I was like, I don't know all the details, I don't want to say anything wrong. And then someone told me imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. So it's like you're better off doing it not perfectly, but you're doing something instead of just doing nothing. Like, better off just doing something.
Yeah. That's a great quote. I really like that now. I'm going to put that up somewhere. I wanted to ask you a bit about your surfing now. Obviously, I can't miss the opportunity. So I read that you pursued big wave surfing in 2017, just leaving the WSL. And I guess it's just like such a dangerous sport. And I think I read in an article you said like you're pretty petite and the wind can sometimes be like a big factor. Like, what made you actually just want to take it up, like in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been surfing since, like I said, I was 9 years old, and I always loved bigger waves, but I never, 12-year-old me would never think that I would surf the waves that I'm surfing now. Like, she would just be like, what on earth happened? What are you doing? It's like, but I think the more I fell in love with big wave surfing, the more I just started, seeing these men and these other women catching these huge waves, and I was like, I feel like I can do that. And even when I got really hurt at one of my first attempts surfing big waves, everyone kind of told me, like, I think you should just stop, go back to competition. You're too petite, you're going to get hurt. And I think those sort of like things, they sort of drove me, and for a while made me want to prove myself that I could do it. And then when I was, actively pursuing big wave surfing and trying to prove myself, I realised, there's no point doing this for other people. Like, you have to do it for yourself first and foremost. Sort of come back to like, why am I doing this? Because I love it, because I want to. And then felt like after that, all this like magic started happening, and I did prove myself, but I didn't do it for that reason. Yeah. I did it because I just really wanted to push myself, and and ride these incredible waves and have that feeling of riding the waves.
So you're not doing it, I guess, like for awards or anything. I think I read also that you said, but it's just to push yourself and kind of show what you can do. But like, I guess, how do you? Obviously, it's really dangerous, like we chatted about it before. But how do you make sure that you are doing that and trying to push yourself and improve, but also like not going like too far because it's very dangerous.
Totally, yeah, and it is really dangerous. And I think, you know, like even my mum was like so worried about me doing this, and I told her, Mum, I've been injured when the waves are small. Like, so one of my friends had a career-ending injury when the waves were this big, like tiny.
Oh, wow.
And you know, injuries are just part of sport, and if you can do everything you can to know that you have prepared, then it's just not going to feel, you know, if you do get injured, you're not going to feel like you hadn't done the work. So I'm always training, trying to be as strong as I can, all the injury prevention that I can. Breath hold training is a massive part of big wave surfing, so I try to be able to hold my breath for 3.5 minutes before I go into like a big wave season. And it just, those things, when I know that I've done the work and ticked them off, if I get injured or not, if I get a wave or not, it's just so amazing to work towards it.
Yeah, I was going to say that must be really important, like knowing how to hold your breath. In that, but I just wanted to also say, just ask about the world record that you did break for the largest wave surf paddled in by a female, which is like a huge achievement. I think it was 13 meters, was it before?
Yeah, it was like 13.3 meters. I think it was like 43.6 feet.
That's crazy.
I know. It's like, it's almost like an apartment. It's like, I couldn't believe, like when I looked up on that wave, I was like, this is like the biggest wave ever. And when I was paddling in, I knew it was big. And then when I got to my feet and looked down, I was like, this is the biggest wave of your life for sure. Like, I knew it straight away. But I was just telling someone else before, I didn't know that anyone had taken a photo of it. So I caught the wave and I went in and I was like, oh my gosh, I got this amazing wave. And it wasn't until like 4 days later where I got this message in my inbox on Instagram, and some photographer was like, I got your wave.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, and he was like, I think it's the biggest wave ever surfed by a woman or paddled into by a woman. And I just, like, when I saw the photo, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I like sent it to my family, and my dad was like, all right, get home right now, you're grounded.
It is really scary to like actually think about it. I can't imagine how scary it was to be on it, but like, when did you actually like realize that you had like broken that record?
So I submitted it to Guinness World Records, and they didn't tell me for like 9 months until I'd broken it. So I kind of just got to like, you know, enjoy that I got this really cool wave, and then all of a sudden 9 months later they announced that I'd broken the record. So it was pretty cool.
You could have gotten broken again at that time. I was like, I got to do it.
Totally.
But I know that you didn't like you said, like you took up big wave surfing like to do it for yourself, but to actually like get that award, like what does it like mean to have that to your name? Yeah,
I think it just is, you know, it's a moment that when I look back on my whole career and any of like the fears and the doubts and any like sense of imposter syndrome or moments where I felt like I didn't belong, the award itself didn't make me feel like I belong. Like that wave and all the work I'd done to get to that moment, I think I'd already in my mind like really decided that, you know, I'm allowed to be here. I have worked hard enough to be here, and all of those doubts were out. And then to get the world record after that, it just like, I don't know, it was just a moment where it was like, I don't know, really cool.
Like solidified it.
Yeah, it just solidified it, and it just made me realise that like all the struggles and doubts and fears along the way were worth it.
Yeah, that is super cool. Thank you so much for this chat, Laura. So great to chat to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.